Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
Hey, what's good? I know it's the start of the week, but let's try and get rid of the Monday blues and go through an interesting video. It's been a while since I've actually done a Kaioken mechanics showcase. So when I was working through some of the free-to-play units that just got released recently on JP, I figured I would go ahead and start with this guy because not only does he have the ability to raise attack with the super attack, but also does have a pretty interesting passive skill that really does complement the super attack abilities. And we'll go ahead and cover the details here in a second. But in terms of the potential levels, level 9 for additional attack, level 12 for criticals, and level 5 for evasion. Basically trying to exploit the additional attack benefit from, you know, getting an additional super attack from the ability to raise the attack, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much a format with that. I did keep track of the total turns that passed with every kind of clip. That way you guys can get a better idea of how much of a attack stack you actually see based on how far progressed in the battle it actually is. So again, for those that are unfamiliar with the format, we start off from the very beginning of the battle. That way you kind of see what you're normally expect to see, and then over the course of the 99 turn limit, you're going to see this progressively get crazier and crazier to the point where it's actually very satisfying to watch a unit like this be able to produce some of the attack stats and damage outputs that you'll end up seeing later on in the video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some of the stats and skill sets built in. So again, this guy does have the ability to raise attack and cause supreme damage to enemy with the super attack. Passive skill is attack and defense increase of 58%, plus an additional attack and defense increase of 58%, and high chance of launching an additional super attack when there's a Goku's family category ally excluding self attacking in the same turn. Also, Goku's family category allies get key +1, attack and defense increase of 10%. So again, you do have the high chance of launching an additional super attack when you do have a Goku's family category ally. That high chance does equate to a 50% chance to launch an additional super attack. So along with that, I did build in at least a level 9 toward additional attack. So when you're lucky on the rotation, you can see up to 3 super attacks in a row. And again, with every super attack, you do have the ability to stack the attack as well. In terms of links, I mean, it's pretty much the traditional Ultimate Gohan unit type deal. You've got Saiyan Warrior Race, that is 700 to attack. Saiyan Lineage is key +1. All in the family, defense increase of 15%. Shocking Speed is key +2. Power Bestowed by God, attack increase of 2500 when SA is launched. Supreme Power is attack and defense increase of 1000. And then finally, Shattering the Limit is key +2. Even though this guy's really meant to be ran alongside some of the other Goku's family category units, you can certainly run this guy on Hybrid Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, Siblings Bond, and Revenge as well. I guess to really fully take benefit of this guy's passive skill, you do want to make sure you do have this unit linked up with another Goku's family category ally. I would certainly do that because you're getting a couple of additional skill sets advantageous to you by doing so. So it's certainly highly recommended. Honestly, my takeaway, right, is the SSR card art was the Teen Gohan, and then with the Dokkan Awaken it changes to Ultimate Gohan. I'm not sure if I would have preferred a regular Teen Gohan version over an Ultimate Gohan. I think it would have been nice to be able to run this guy alongside some of the other Ultimate Gohan units, but because the name's the same, obviously you can't do that. But initially when I found out about this card's release, I did have a little bit of expectations that a little bit shocked or disappointed that it ended up being an Ultimate Gohan unit. But yeah, I guess a good thing in a way is another option to farm the SA if you needed it. I forgot what Universe Survival story event is available where the Gohan's available, but I guess it gives you another option. But that's honestly my personal opinion on the matter. Regardless, this unit's pretty damn good for a free-to-play unit, especially for some of the longer dragged out battles. Of course, this guy doesn't stack defense, so you could certainly find yourself in some issues when facing some of the tougher type enemies. But again, this isn't that type of video. This is merely just testing out the full capacity of how much we can actually get that attack stats up to. So that's really more or less an experiment on this portion, and you know, just have fun with it. So with that being said, I think we're on turn 49 has passed, so you know, a little bit over halfway through the 99 turn limit. Still a little ways to go, so I think you know, we can certainly stack up the attack a little bit more. So again, I did go with level 9 additional attack. It certainly does seem to help. There's been a couple of occasions where it's continuously no additional super attacks or activating, but in a lot of cases it also does. So you know, right now you can see additional super for 3.6 million, and then yeah, just a normal additional attack hitting for about 3.5 million. So you know, that in itself should pretty much give you a clear indicator of how much you can actually stack up the attack. Now, in terms of the rotation, for the most part of this video, I did keep only clips of the main linking buddy, which is the exchange unit, Goku and Gohan, as well as the Burai unit. Both of them do provide a pretty substantial boost toward attack. Obviously, with this type of setup, we want to be able to take advantage of that as much as possible. So that's pretty much the orientation of how I ended up going through the stage itself. And I'm sure it's obvious at this point, but the stage is obviously the Rose Dokkan event. I believe it's stage 1, so or Super 1, whichever difficulty or stage itself it is. But that's pretty much the setting where Zamasu isn't necessarily invincible, but he does replenish 99 million HP. So unless you're bringing in a lot of powerful units that also do have the ability to stack attack, you don't really have to worry too much about you know, KOing the unit. You can certainly do so fairly quickly if you really wanted to, but I didn't necessarily want that for this guy because I wanted to make sure I was able to get through at least 99 turns to fully maximize this guy's attack stats. And you know, you see 4.2 million there based on 77 turns. You know, a lot of this does really ultimately depend on RNG and how lucky you can get the additional super attacks off, you know, on a frequent basis on as many rotations as possible. So in some cases, again, I went through maybe a couple of dry rotations where it was 4 or 5 consecutive turns where he really didn't even get an additional super attack. So, you know, things like that tend to happen. It's really RNG, but at the same time, honestly, I think it all evens out. So, you know, this is probably a pretty good indicator of what to expect. You know, I don't expect, you know, any battle to, you know, actually go through a total of 99 turns. Even, you know, the Infinite Dragon Ball History stages and Legendary Goku battle, it doesn't quite go to that level. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 turns or something like that is probably my guess, but definitely not 99. The other reason I did include the Burai unit is also because she has the ability to massively raise attack with every super attack. So I kind of wanted to compare Gohan to her, even though she's being utilized as a rotating floater position. She does have the ability to massively raise attack again. So I figured it might be a good basis point in comparing between the two units. In terms of Gohan, again, he does have a built-in high chance or 70% equivalent to launch an additional super attack. Again, I did go a little bit heavier on the additional attack and the potential levels than I traditionally do for most units. I pretty much, for any intelligence type units, outside of very specific reasons, I would typically lean toward going the level 15 criticals route. I just tend to prefer that way, but in this guy's case, it just made a little bit more sense to apply at least 3 extra levels toward additional attack than I normally do. And it definitely does kind of make, it seems like it does make a difference, because I did see quite a few of the 3 super attacks in a row type deal. Not all of it's included on this video, obviously, but you know, there were a few occasions where I was able to see that. So where are we at? I think it was like, what, 4.3 million roughly at this point before the super attack. Yeah, so 5.2 million. I mean, that is more than enough for this unit to be able to produce. I mean, right at 10 million with the crit damage. So, yeah, I think this is the best this unit can do, and no complaints, honestly. I really didn't know what to expect going into this. I've tested, a lot of units with the system, and have always had, a lot of fun with it. But sometimes it's still a little bit hard to predict, what to expect. All right, so this is going to be the very last turn, since we're already way past the 99 turn limit at 101 total. We're going to use some items, boost up the attack, maximize the attack stats as much as possible, and we'll close it out here. But I don't know. I mean, we're already at 3.3 million. Of course, he'll raise the attack stats even higher based on the amount of, the intelligence key obtained. Looks like 9.2 million right now, and then we got a couple more items here. Let's see where we end up. Right at 11.8 million. So, some of the stronger units I've seen definitely reach that levels without items, but this is a free-to-play unit at the end of the day. So I think, honestly, no complaints here. So, again, this is the Kaioken mechanic test for the intelligence free-to-play Ultimate Gohan unit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later.